What if heaven, nirvana, paradise, bliss, the kingdom of heaven doesn't have to arrive? What if it's already planted inside of you, smaller than you can imagine, but destined to become larger than your entire world? The parable of the mustard seed reveals the greatest spiritual secret that you'll ever learn, that you don't acquire the kingdom of heaven, you cultivate it. If you're like me, you've heard this story so many times before, it's lost its edge. Big faith, tiny mustard seed. But if you look at it from a metaphysical lens, this story's mechanics actually describes how consciousness materializes into reality. This story is telling us that we can manifest an unshakable reality, a life of total security and abundance, starting with nothing more than a tiny mustard seed, a tiny thought the size of a mustard seed. Today, we're cracking the code to stop begging and to start planting. We're looking at the seed that contains the entire blueprint of your success. I am Satra Anuket, and this channel decodes parables and allegories in a way that they ain't never taught you in church. We are revealing hidden esoteric truths metaphysically using the 7 Hermetic Principles so that you can activate your Christ consciousness through your inner waters. So, the parable of the mustard seed. The seed. Let's take a look at the seed. The seed. So small that you can barely see it, but inside that shell is not just the potential for growth. It's a system of multiplication that benefits generations to come. Let's look at the mechanics, the process, the seed, and growth itself. This is found in Matthew 13, verse 31 through 32, where this code is first given to us. I'm going to go ahead and read it. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and planted in his field. Though it is the smallest of all seeds, yet when it grows, it is the largest of garden plants and becomes a tree so that the birds can come and perch in its branches. First and foremost, fam, we know that in esoteric teaching, a seed represents the word, and the word is thought. And universal law states that all is the mind, the all. The all is all of creation, all of consciousness. And for my biblical folk, a way to break this down to y'all would be, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. What is the Word? The Word is consciousness. The Word is all. The Word is everything. It's the first law. So we know that the Word, the seed, is the beginning, which is what is planted. And the mechanics of a mustard seed, particularly, a mustard seed is 1 to 2 millimeters in diameter. It really is something that is so small that you can barely see it. But despite its size, it has high efficiency, and it is a plant that will produce hundreds of seed pods. And in those seed pods are thousands of seeds inside each pod. So it's not just growth, it's a prolific multiplier. Prolific, so gifted. It's the type that's gonna go get it. That's what a mustard seed is. That is the geometry of abundance constructed by the universe, written directly into its design. The finite contains the infinite in it. The seed has everything that it needs to produce every piece of fruit, everything that it will ever create in its lifetime once that seed grows into a tree. And you, me, we all started off as a seed. Luckily we made it, because otherwise we would have just been another spot on the bed. I kid. And I even think about, like, when a girl is born and when her mother carries her in her womb, like her grandmother carried the mom and the mom had all the eggs that she ever needed. So it's like literally a seed has everything that it needs in its entire lifetime. So this parable is describing nature and the way that nature works, and we're no different than nature. It is letting us know that the entire kingdom of heaven within us is within us, and it is so tiny and small, but it has the ability to grow into a plant that is efficient and high producing for generations to come. So if we think about it in that way, what seeds are you planting today? Our subconscious soil grows whatever it is planted. It doesn't discriminate. It's hella fertile. It grows whatever seeds we planted it. A seed of fear, a doubt will grow into a giant tree of misfortune and that same relentlessness that was planted with. But if you plant seeds of certainty and seeds of faith and seeds of good health, what do they grow into? Abundance and more resources. Instead of planting seeds of fear, of I'll never get well, they wronged me, I can't afford this, what's gonna happen? All of that. You're planting more and more of that. Let's take a look closer. Now, here is really where the mechanics of the seed gets pretty interesting. Because most people think that growth, which is uncomfortable, requires force. It requires a pushing through, pushing against the dirt. But the seed actually reveals something else, because it's the roots that are pushing up against the dirt. The seed, it doesn't push, it pulls. It's endo-osmosis. It's a draw. The seed creates a vacuum in the soil. It vibrates at the frequency of the mature plant that it's about to become, and that vibration compels everything inward: the earth, the water, the air, the electrons, the neutrons. They rush in to feel the pattern, to become that tree. Seed doesn't chase the resources chase the seed. Many of us has been taught that big problems require big, complicated solutions. And you're waiting for a massive shift before you allow yourself to feel powerful, but we've been taught all wrong. Like a lot of things that we're finding out these days, we're being taught we're all wrong. But natural law, universal law, it doesn't work through effort. It works through the right use of the law. Some call it right useness, righteousness. But metaphysically righteousness, not in the churchiness. Church churchness. In esoteric teaching, righteousness actually means right thinking in alignment with divine law. Your biggest breakthroughs, they will never start with massive effort. I'm going to say that again. Your biggest breakthroughs will never start with massive effort. So what you mean? What kind of effort do I got to get with a big breakthrough? I hope you've been listening this whole time. It always starts with the smallest, simplest decision to trust, to stay disciplined, to be humble, to be dedicated, and determined to stay to the mission, which is really what submission means, to be under and to be committed to the mission. We both have to be under the mission to submit to the mission, to plant one tiny seed and to vibrate at its frequency and to allow the law to do what the law does. If we're maintaining that frequency, if we're vibrating at that frequency, it has no choice but to do what it does. And when that seed is activated, when that word is activated, it vibrates. And guess what? Your voice, when you speak, your vocal cords are actually vibrating. That's the sound of your voice. Your spoken word is activated seeds. And the law adheres to the word, and the word adheres to the law. So we just gonna let the law do what the law does, and we just gonna let it do what it do. And what is our job? Our part is to only tune into and correspond with the God in you, with the right in you, the right use of the laws, the right thinking of the way that you want to go. Not right in the wrong sense, but right in the right way that it is that you're calling. You get what I'm saying, y'all? You picking up what I'm putting down? The smallest word of faith, planted in the silence of your subconscious mind, contains within it the entire blueprint for its own miraculous fulfillment of heaven, of bliss, of nirvana. How do we get there? I highly recommend you get a plant and have something to grow so that you can understand the relationship, because it really is a 4-step process. But let's look at this method for growing these metaphysical mental seeds. First thing you got to do is identify the seed. What is it that you want to plant? What is this clear thought, this word? What is the intention? What is the seed? 2, now you're going to plant it in silence. You're going to place it in the soil of your subconscious mind with conviction and with feeling, right? Because when you feeling it down in there as you planting it down in the soil of your subconscious mind. And 3, stop. Don't dig it up. Don't interfere with it. Be still. Pause. Trust the law. Trust the process. Even if you don't see anything happening, continue to feel and trust the process. 4, expect growth and know that massive birds, those higher thoughts, those God thoughts, the results aren't just for you. They're going to multiply, and you're going to have a place where you get even more refreshing ideas, even more thoughts of abundance. But you've got to expect it. You got to know that it's on its way. Just the same way that when you turn on the light, you expect the lights to come on. Just the way you turn on your car, you expect for it to come on, and when it doesn't, you're disappointed, yes, but you expect that it's going to happen. So whatever you have in your life, and I'm just using lights in the car as an example, but think about something that is personal for you that you just know and you expect to happen. Like the sun is going to rise the next morning, right? When there's darkness, you already know that you expect for the day to come, because that's law. Take a sip of my tea, y'all, if you don't mind. If this teaching awakened something in you and you felt a little zing, a little seed was planted, and you suddenly remembered that you are the gardener of your own reality, then subscribe and join my community of sovereign light beings where we remember who we truly are. And we are here to master universal law. We're here to master knowledge of self that govern our entire experience. And please never forget, you are the light. You don't have to beg for it. You don't have to borrow it. You don't have to prove it to nobody. Just be it and shine. Peace out, y'all. Till next time, be well.